BRT, what is it called? Bolt or Uber. This one you're saying transport tools. You mean tools or rules?
I mean rule.
I thought you said tools. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I said rule.
Okay.
Yes.
Transport rule or Mayflow rule. Okay, that's fine. So another person. So the Mayflow rule and transport rule, do you do anything? Were you taught anything at all? You see, everybody have been talking
Yeah,
now. Now I ask question, everybody went mute.
no, yes. Yeah, I think he taught us something on it.
Okay,
Is
so you can tell us some of those things. I'm listening. Others said Victor talked about Mayflow. What are the things you talk about? Hope my background is not noisy before the owner will come and stole me gravel.
I'm not a bad person.
I never said you're a bad person. The only person that has woman away name.
A bad person, they trust stone.
That's why you're a bad person. Home name, Diwura, away name, Kemi. So I'm listening. At least Victor talk about some things. Or I just want to know if we understood what he explained, or we need to go through it again. That's what I'm asking. So I will know where to pick it up from.
Boss, we'll appreciate if we can go through it again. It was I think the last class was record at the middle of the class, so he didn't capture maybe the earlier point.
Coach, good evening.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, what he taught us the last time, he taught us how to manage mail boss, how to, when your mail boss is full, how do you send the other mails to archive, how you archive your mails.
Enabling
Okay.
archive.
How to enable archiving so that you don't lose your mail. Once you enable it, your mails are now moved from your mailbox into the archive, so that whenever you need to check your old mails, you can always go into the archive. And then he also taught us how to create a policy, so that when the mails are archived, that policy can guide it then, and it can be simultaneously done. So basically, those were what he then how to manage mailbox retention policy. He also taught us something on that.
Okay. So Jarvis, don't tell
Yes.
you are reading it from somewhere. Yeah,
No,
tell us.
no.
From your jotter.
My
Tell
notes
us.
is for me. My
Yeah?
what?
You are reading it
I
from your
said my
jotter.
notes.
Tell us.
Yes. I
Exactly.
should tell you what.
That you are reading it from your jotter now, and you've said yes already. You don't even know how to copy.
Yes.
Can you imagine? You don't even know how to copy.
At least.
It was obvious that you were reading it.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
Lovina, you can speak.
okay, like he
Okay.
said, he taught us exchange mailbox, and he talked about different type, shared and users. Then now he taught us about how to archive custom one, and then we can archive using MS365 admins, MS365 admin, then Exchange, or can use View. Any of them can use. And another one, PowerShell. So how to do it using PowerShell. Then again, now delegation, I think he taught it to the other day. So he then did the hands-on. So we're able to create, those of us that followed him, we created a main boss, then customized the archive, did the retention, then the alerts, set alerts, and all those things. So that's what we did. We stopped at using PowerShell to archive. So of course, I don't know PowerShell. I don't like PowerShell. So then we stopped there.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's just continue from there. So I don't know while we were discussing about the retention policy, if we talk about the three major retention policies that gets people confused a lot. Let me share my screen. So we actually have three retention policy in Exchange. Their functions look alike, but they are actually different, and it confuses a lot of people, including admins. So I mean, is it taking me to my, see, it's taking me to my LinkedIn alone. I'm not sharing my LinkedIn. So it's picking my, and to stop again. Yeah, I'm coming. Sorry, I don't know why my system is misbehaving. Well, let me do my entire screen. If it's not sharing that alone. Okay. Can you see my entire screen at least?
Yes.
Okay. So in Microsoft 365, we have three retention policies, but people get confused a lot. So the number one of them that most people knows is from the Purview Admin Center. As I said, as many as the little things that will come to my head today that we will need, I'll talk about them so that we can proceed. Purview. So let me show you the two retention policies from Purview, then we'll come back. So we have two from Purview, and the last one is Exchange. And the one that is Exchange, it is done using PowerShell. It's not something where you can go physically and enable for a mailbox. Though I might not run the PowerShell because of our time, but I'll drop it in the group for people that might want to do so, but I will explain how it works and its functions. So if you look at this place, we have the data live cycle management. As the name sounds, what happens to your data from the day they are created and to the last day. If you look at my screen now, you see what they call retention policies. Under here, we have a retention policy, which is the most common one that most people knows about. But there are other retention policy that people don't know about. Also, while we are doing that, if you are told that a mailbox is soft deleted or inactive, if it's soft deleted, you can only use PowerShell to check the current status of that mailbox. But if it's inactive, you can always come here to check it. You don't have this function in Exchange. You can see this inactive mailbox. You don't have that function in Exchange. You have to come here to do it. And a lot of people get confused along the line. They start looking for it in Exchange. Suppose the Exchange is not there. So back to our retention policy. So what differentiates this retention policy from other policies is this. This is used to retain every workload in Microsoft 365, irrespective. Let me assume you want to create one now. Let me use Tara. It's Tara that used to come to my head always. So you can put the policy name and a description, especially all this description is mainly for organizations that have more than 1, 2, 3 admins. By the time I see the description, I will know what the policy is working for. So I don't alter policies or rules that I'm not expected to do what to alter. So we click on next. So here we have the adaptive and the static. For us to be able to enable this adaptive, there are conditions that you need to meet. If you look at my screen, you can see first thing, I need E5 license, trial license or normal license, and there are some PowerShell you need to run to enable adaptive. So the adaptive and the static, they are two different things, two different retention rules entirely. So these things, they are called rules under policy. They are the rules under the policy. So I want to put it in the easiest way that we can get it. So adaptive is like our dynamic distribution list. You know, if you are creating it, there are some rules you put together. If the user meets this condition and this condition, do what? Add them to this rule. Add them to this rule. And adaptive, once you create that rule, you can't alter it from the GUI again. You can't alter it. Once you create any adaptive rule, think about it very well. You can't alter it from GUI. Even from PowerShell, there is restriction to things you can do. And for static, you can always come here to make any changes you want to do on static rules when it comes to retention policy. So if I click on next now, it will give me all the available workloads that I can use it for. Can you see it now? That is not for Exchange alone. I guess that is the reason why they did not put it in Exchange. They put it in Purview. It can be used for SharePoint, OneDrive, even on-premise. It's not showing here because it's not hybrid environment. If it was hybrid environment, you will see the option for your on-premise Exchange or SharePoint also. You can see that there are a lot of all the Microsoft 365 workload are included here. So you can pick which one you are trying to run and the one you are trying to back up at that moment. So you can do what? You can click. I do advise people, don't use one policy for everything because you might need to alter it. Let's assume we use this policy for Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, everything, and we need to alter it. It might affect some other workload. So I always advise if you want to pick Exchange, maybe use one for Exchange, you just detail it. Then you can use one for SharePoint, and OneDrive together. You can pick another one for Teams, depending on how you want to organize your things in your environment. Even when picking the Teams, you can pick one for Teams chats, pick one for Teams, just in case. Just in case. As you are creating it, the more multiple policy you have, the more multiple issues you have. Also, everything that has advantage has disadvantage likewise. So for this one, we are not going to alter anything. We just click on next. So if you look at this place now, this is where the first the type, and this place is where we have major work to do. That I have major work to do. If you look at here, they're asking us how many years do you want to retain it? How many years do you want to retain it? For people working in banks and some other organization, this is what they do. For those that are working in bank, they can bear me witness because you don't delete anything. If you have ever worked in bank before and you left the organization, your mailbox is still there. All your data is still there. It's going nowhere. They are not going to delete anything from that mailbox. So after even putting it on as retained forever, they use preservation lock. They use preservation lock. I don't know if everybody have worked with it before, heard about preservation lock before. Preservation lock, these are preservation lock work. It is done using PowerShell also. I'm coming. Let's see if we can get the script so it won't look like I'm speaking fresh. Of you. Okay, this is it. So if we set this restrictive retention to true, that is the preservation lock, it means nobody can delete that policy. Can you see what is written here? If I should do it for this policy now, nobody can delete this policy. The only thing you can do, you can only do two things. If I put it on retain item for specific period, if I do 7 years, you can increase it, but you cannot decrease it. And also the people that are included previously that we stated here, you can include more workload, you can include more user, but you can't exclude anybody and you can't reduce the number of people. And the greatest disadvantage of it is you can't, no global admin, no user can remove the preservative lock. There is no PowerShell to remove it. Only if you raise tickets with Microsoft and Microsoft Product Group, not even escalation team, Microsoft Product Group that can remove it. And before they remove it, only if you are not financial institution and those information does not contain anything financial details. After signing everything, before they will remove it for you. But if it's financial institution, my brother, they are not going to remove it. They will not remove that preservative lock from that retention policy. So after that, there is nothing much to do. Then you just click on next, finish. So why am I talking about this retention policy? A lot of users will now come to you that I'm receiving notification that my mailbox will seem filled up. I've been deleting some items. Those items are not what? They are not leaving my mailbox. One of the reasons why you still see them there is this retention policy. Don't forget, we specify that retain forever or retain from some period of time. Then after that, they can say delete or do not delete. That period that you said Microsoft should retain it. If the user should delete it, the user might delete it from their end. They won't have access to it again. But from the back end, if you do a content search or you use a PowerShell, those emails are still available in the recoverable item folder of that user. So you might think you have deleted those emails, but your admin still have rights to it. They can do what? Recover the email. So far, it's still within the year specified here, or if it's retained forever. So far, this policy is still active. They can do what? They can recover those emails. They can recover those emails. So I don't know if you all understood this. Then before we go to the second one. Any question?
Yes. I have a question.
You have a question?
Yes. So, based on your explanation now, so regardless of the user deleting a specific email, it doesn't decrease the size of the mailbox.
I'm not sure I get your question.
Okay, you mentioned something, based on the policy, the set policy, if it's for a
Yes,
specific period, let's say 7 years, and there are
yes.
two options, do nothing or delete automatically. But you mentioned something, a customer could come to you stating, I have tried deleting my number of mail I have received in the past. However, my mailbox is still full. So regardless of deleting the mail, those mail content, the mailbox storage space doesn't reduce. That's what I'm trying to ask.
Yes, until it meets this condition. If you say after 7 years, delete automatically, it means that email must get to 7 years. If I delete it from my end, it will remain in the recoverable item folder. I might not have access to it from my own end again as end user, but admin will have access to it. If they run content set from Exchange, there's a recover mailbox items also. You can recover it from there.
Okay.
So far it's still within this circumference of 7 years. Even if you delete it, they still remain in your mailbox. So if your recoverable item, these are how things work. If you delete something, it goes to the deleted item folder. By default, it's 14 days, but some organization change it to 30 days. After 14 days, if you go to let me open my Outlook. Read this. What is this? Ellie, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because my network was misbehaving. Okay, so this place, this item will remain. Who is this person? I can see ear echo. Where is the echo coming from? Ini, I think it's from your end. So this email I deleted, it will remain here for 14 days, though some organization change it to 30 days. So after 14 days, it will move to this place. If I delete it from here now, so let's I delete it from here. It will move to this place. You can see it told me it has been permanently deleted. It will move to this place. So after 30 days, in this folder again, it will be deleted permanently for me as user. I will not see it again. If I click on it now and I say delete, it will tell me to permanently delete. As user, that is the end from my own end. I don't have access to that email again. But there is still another recoverable item folder. Another recoverable item folder. Inside that recoverable item folder now, this guy that I deleted will be in that recoverable item folder based on the fact that I have a retention policy that I should hold that email. So once that recoverable item folder is filled up, depending on the license I have, If I have Exchange Plan 2, the recoverable item folder also will be 100 gig. Only if I enable maybe auto expanding archive, then some are moving from my primary mailbox to my archive and my archive recoverable item folder. Once the archive recoverable item folder is filled up, the mailbox recoverable item folder is filled up. If you delete anything from here, it won't go. Once you delete it for a few seconds, you might think it has been deleted. Once you refresh, the item will show up back here again. It will show up back here again because the recoverable item folders are filled. They are filled up. So at that point, the user will reach out to you, because the reason why user reach out most of the time is not necessarily that they can't send or receive email again. Some users might still be able to send or receive email, but they will not be able to create meeting or accept any meeting. For those that have accepted meeting in Microsoft 365 very well, you see that after accepting a meeting, it goes to your deleted item folder automatically. It goes to your deleted item folder once you accept that meeting. So if there is no space in the deleted item folder again, they will not be able to accept those meeting. Then as admin, they will reach out to you. I can't accept meeting. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do. They might give different reason. Some of them might even tell you it was because of my grandmother I saw in my dream yesterday, and since then my mailbox stopped accepting calendar invites now that MD wants to promote me. So they might come with different things, but it's now left to you as an admin to know that this is what is actually wrong with the user's mailbox. Ini, I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome. So any other question before we proceed?
I want to ask a question.
There are questions in the chat as well.
My
Okay.
question is, why is it that sometimes when they send you mail, you will not receive it in a listen, but it will be in JOS. Like they
In
have to go
junk
and check.
folder.
Yes, instead of
Okay. Because we
you
will
receive.
not get there. So I will explain those emails to you. Let me open my personal email. I think I've emptied this one. I've emptied this one. I've emptied this. I've emptied this guy. So let me check this other guy. Okay, so the emails you are seeing here, just check all these emails you are seeing from here. You will see that they have almost the same kind of pattern. Let me show you this for those that do airdrop a lot. You can see that this email is sent to several people. They told us is airdrop form. If you look at it very well, they are actually phishing emails. They are phishing emails, not good emails. So if an email is sent to you and the email drops, especially in official settings, most organizations now, assuming we have time, I would have gone to copy one email header, then analyze those email header to you. There is a place in the mail header. If it's a bulk email, you see BLK. It will show you that it's bulk email. So most organization mail folder flag bulk email as spam. That is email that are sent to multiple users. You just send out ads to a lot of people. So it will mark it as spam. That is one. Two, if you just create your Microsoft 365 tenant and you have not set up some of your DNS records, if you remember when I was explaining DNS, your SPF, DKIM, and other ones, if you've not set it up, then on the internet, your domain does not have any reputation yet, it will be flagged as spam. especially if you are using that on Microsoft domain. If you send it to Google these days, Google will mark it immediately as spam. So it depends on the content of the email. If the email did not violate anything that you have configured as a form of security in your tenant, it won't flag it as spam. So it now even depend on the kind of spam it is. There are some, it will quarantine it immediately. It won't even get to the user. It will go straight, it will go straight to the admin. Only the admin that can view it. So if the admin view it, check the contents and see that it's something that is okay, they can release it. Or if it's false positive, they can release it. Because at times there are some organization, this is your signature link at the bottom of your um what is it called now? Your signature link at the bottom of your emails. There are some mail server that will flag it as phishing link. It will flag it as phishing link. So situation like that, or organization that is sending email to you, it might be a legit email, but because of that signature link that they did some decoration, all those signature to beautify them. Some even have some signature server that helps them with all those things. So the mail server might flag it. So those ones, they are false positive. You can go there, release the email, and just submit. In Microsoft, you can submit it that, okay, well, next time, if this kind of email is coming from this person, don't mark it as quarantine again. Lovina, I don't know if I answer your question. So the person that is asking, what is the difference between retention policy and litigation code? So we are getting there. If you remember when I was talking about it, I said retention policy, the one I showed you now, it works with what? A lot of mailbox, a lot of Microsoft 365 workloads, a lot of Microsoft 365 workloads. So before we even talk about it, if you remember last time when we were talking, I mentioned the order retention policy also. Let me cancel this guy because I might delete this tenant tonight. I think we talked about this legacy retention policy the last time. Am I correct? Am I right?
Which one?
Let's talk now.
Which one?
Let's talk about it.
Which one? Sorry.
This legacy retention policy.
No,
I don't talk about
no,
this
no, no.
retention policy. Okay, so it's fine. So let's talk about the second one there before we go back to um exchange. So the second one that we have is the MRM retention policy. Who can guess what MRM is?
Messaging records management.
Eh? Say
Messaging
me.
records management.
Yes, messaging record management retention policy. So if you look at this guy now with the initial retention policy, you will see that they almost look alike. But this guy that we first talk about, it takes precedence over this guy. It takes precedence over this guy, which means if this guy is here, whatever this guy does, everything still remain within the mailbox. This guy will still hold it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I decide to create a new tag, let me create a new tag. So if you see under this tag that I'm creating now, under tag, we used to have three options. The first one, automatic for the entire mailbox. This one is irrespective of wherever the email is within the mailbox, it will move it to your archive. If you remember when we are talking about archive, this is the retention policy that works with archive. irrespective of anywhere you have this email in your mailbox, this guy will move it to archive. This other guy, it will only move emails from the default folders. You know what are the default folders? Inbox, sent item, draft, junk, or spam. Which other one again? All those folders that come with your mailbox by default. That is the only places it will move what? The emails. Which means if you have personal folder that you created, it will move emails from those folders. It will move the emails from those folders. They will remain in the user's mailbox. While the last one, if you see it, this one is for personal folders alone. This one is for default folders. This one is for personal folder. This one is for personal folder, while this one is for everybody. This one, irrespective of wherever the emails are in the mailbox, it moves them to archive. So let's now do our retention policy settings. You can see we are asked to define the retention settings now. Number of days, when item reach 365 days. Do what? Delete and recover. Delete, permanently delete, or move to archive. Are we seeing the three options? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The first one say delete, but give us the chance to be able to do what? To recover it. The second one say permanently do what? Delete it. We don't want it again. And the third one says move to archive. So assuming we want to move to archive now, we click on this guy. Then it will move to archive. But since we are not moving to archive, based on the explanation we want, you can see we say should permanently delete. But if you look at the description written here, item are moved to purges folder for permanent deletion. If single item recoverable has been disabled or retention period is 0, it will permanently delete immediately. Are you seeing it? This guy, all this English that this guy wrote here now, now fake. The permanently delete means this place. You won't see it again from this place, from here. But if you go to do content search or do recover emails from Exchange Admin Center, you still bring back those emails because there is another policy that is taking precedence over it. Okay, so let me just put that this guy is a state governor. You know, whatever a state governor says actually carry weight within the state, but federal can say something that will do what? That will override whatever the governor have said. The president can do what? Can say something that will override whatever the governor have what? Said. So this guy is governor, while the initial one we explain about is the federal government. So anything this guy does now is just within the exchange mailbox. Within the exchange mailbox. It will delete it, as you have said, but it will still, since that other policy is there, you'll be able to recover those emails. Hope I did not add to your confusion.
No. Victor taught us something.
Okay. What about others? Hope I did not add to your confusion.
No.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
Thank you. So let's assume we select move to archive also. It will move all the emails to archive, including your recoverable item folders item. So if you remember, I said if you delete email from here, it goes to your recoverable item folder. It goes to your recoverable item folder. So let's assume we have our guy, the first retention policy, holding these emails, and we say move to archive. So as it's moving into the archive recoverable item folder, the recoverable item folder will keep it because it won't be deleted so far it did not meet that 7 years policy we set for the item to be retained. So by the time the archive recoverable item folder is filled and the mailbox recoverable item folder is filled, then we start getting different error. Though there are some organizations that don't give room for archive. They don't use archive in the organization, only your mailboxes that is being used. So that is that about the second retention policy. So this is the tag. After creating the tag, then you go to create a policy. You go to create a policy and add those tags. You can see now, add tag. All the tag you created initially. You can see, these are all the tags. Then you do what? You add the tags. After adding it, then you now go to Exchange and add this policy to the user. By default, everybody come with the default MRM policy. But let me create one here so you can see it when you get to Exchange. You can add more than one, depending on whatever you want to do. Then done. So that is that about the two retention policies in Microsoft. So a lot of admin or users, admin in common, they will come and meet you that we have retention policy that I should delete email from mailbox, but the retention policy is not deleting the email. Why? So you can check if there are other form of hold, especially these retention policies, this particular retention policy, keeping those emails or keeping those files or data in the mailbox. So let's come back to our Exchange. So if you come to Exchange now, if I click on this guy, if I click on this guy, I come to others. It's under, oh, it's under mailbox. Sorry. You can see retention policy. You can see the default MRM retention policy. If I click on manage, as you see the Tara that we copy that we did, retention policy. Can you see Tara here? Then from here, I will apply it to this user's mailbox. The funny thing is that this guy will not start moving email immediately. The emails will not move immediately, though I've applied the policy to this user. So the MRM policy automatically run once in 7 days. Are we getting it? So we are still on the MRM policy. After I've applied it to this mailbox, it automatically runs just once in 7 days. And imagine user is already complaining that their mailbox is already almost filled up. They can't do anything. We want the emails to move immediately. So the next thing you can do is what? To force MRM to process so that those emails can move. So we use a PowerShell called Start Manage Folder Assistance. Let me copy this guy for whoever that wants to do restrictive retention policy. Where should I put it? Let me put it here for the retention policy reservation log. So we can do the Start Manage Folder Assistance. If you look at this place, can you see this place? So immediately start managing record management processing of mailbox that you specify. Can you see it? So you run the Start Manage Folder Assistance, then it will force the MRM to process. But if you don't run it, the MRM will stay for 7 days. Let's say the last time it ran was today. if the last time the MRM ran was today, then you have to wait additional 6 days, making it 7 days before it will run automatically. That's when those email will start moving. That's when the email will start moving. But according to Microsoft now, once you enable archive for a user and the email get to your mailbox get to 96%, it will automatically move those emails from the user's mailbox to the user's archive automatically. Microsoft will move it. That is the new policy that Microsoft just did. I think it will start is in preview at the moment. It will from this month. I think from January. From January, they will implement it. Once a user, so far the user has archive enabled. Once your mailbox gets to 96%, it will start moving those emails to archive. I think I did a post. That was my last post on LinkedIn. So you can keep this handy also. So any other question before we proceed to the last retention policy? Any other question? I want to assume we all understood, right?
Yes, boss.
Okay. Thank you. So the last one is the exchange retention policy. Mm, Retention code. There is one particular, this is the document I'm looking for. So that person that is asking about litigation owed, this guy that you are seeing is a brother of litigation owed. Is a brother of litigation owed. But now the PowerShell for litigation owed is no longer working. If you want to enable litigation owed, you get error. Though this guy time has been in existence since, but a lot of people do not know about him. Can you see this guy? Can you see this guy? So if you look at this guy very well, you see that he's a bit different from the first two we talked about. Once you enable this guy, MRM will not process. That MRM that we created, those retention tag and retention policy, it will not work. Everything in that mailbox is like arranging your house and going for vacation. According to physics, if there is no external force that apply to any of those things that you kept in your house, you meet them the way they are. If you look at it, during the retention hold, user can log into their mailbox, change or delete item. When you perform a mailbox search, deleted item that are past deleted the retention period and not returned in search. To make such item changed or deleted by users are preserved in legal hold scenarios. You must place a mailbox on litigation hold. So this guy now, with this guy, nothing runs. Even if you delete it, everything still remain. You assume that you have deleted, but this thing still remain. Everything still remains. So most time they will now tell you that I have done MRM processing on the mailbox. I have run start manage folder assistance and the email is not going. The reason why it's not going is this guy. Can you see it? The reason why it's not going is because of this guy. And how do you enable this guy? You use PowerShell. You can only enable this guy using PowerShell. Anything outside PowerShell, you can't enable this guy. So this guy is just straightforward. It's for mailbox only. It's just for mailbox only. Outside mailbox, nothing else. Just mailbox only. Same way we have the MRM retention policy for mailboxes. I think we've dealt about the 3 retention policy that we have in exchange. Any question then before we proceed to something else? Any question? So in absent of none, so I was told you've talked about Mayflow rule before, but let me just touch some little things here, then we can proceed. So message trace, as the name sounds, message trace. A user comes to meet you, they send me an email, I did not receive it, or they've been sending emails, I did not receive it. You come and run a message trace. The message trace shows how emails are being moved, the policies and the rules that acted on that email, and where you can find that emails. If the emails are received by the user, you find it here. If the email gets to this tenant at all, you will find it here. If the email do not get to this tenant, you also know. Once you come to message trace and you do a trace of a particular message and the message did not show up here, my brothers and sisters, it means the email did not get to your tenant. If the email gets to your tenant is in quarantine, message trace will pick it. If it's moved to junk folder, message trace will pick it. Wherever that email is moved to, message trace will pick it. It will give you the details of that message. If you look at this place, if I go to message events, everything that happens to this email, I will see it. Message received by blah 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 blah. Outlook mail server. The message was successfully delivered. Straight away, assuming there are rules or there are some things that acted on it, I will see everything here. Everything that acted on that email, I will see them here. You can see it's even provide the IP, the from IP. This is the message ID. This is the message trace ID. So everything about that email, don't forget when they are saying message, they are talking about email. Everything about the email, you will see it here. So message trace will give you details of how the emails are received or how emails are sent, what acted to it. If the email is blocked, maybe your user tried to send email and the email was not going, is blocked. You see the reason why it's blocked there, the rules that acted on it, everything that happened to that message, you will see it on that on the message trace or the message trace, which is the major work of message trace. So aside from that, the interesting part is now the Mayflow rule or the transport rule. The Mayflow rule or the transport rule. So the Mayflow rule is like your parents sending you on errand. It's like your parents sending you on errand. There are some instructions that you need to follow. There are some instructions that you need to follow. You know, there are some things, if they send you, immediately you get home, they will tell you, you did not get it from the person I sent to. I told you to go to Mommy Lovina. This stuff you got is not from Mommy Lovina. And you'll be surprised, how did they get to know? Or what I ask you to do, you do not do it. So there are some additional things I want to add to my emails. There are some things that I don't want them to happen. How do I go about it? That is where Mayflow rules come. When this user send this message, add this thing to it. When this user send this message, make sure the message does not get delivered. When this user send this message, redirect this message to this place. Or when this user send this message, add a signature. Add signature to it. Everything that you want to happen to emails, you can use your transport through. And the reason why I will not be talking much about it, I believe they said um, Victor have talked about it already. Victor have talked about it already. So I'll talk about the remote and accepted domain. The remote and accepted domain. So when we talk about remote and accepted domain, so the remote domain, when you have a third-party application that you are using to send message, or you have an on-prem that you are using to send message, and the message is routed via Office 365, then you will need a remote domain. I'm coming. Let me see if I can sign it to my tenant. I'm not sure the guy even have it because I don't have on-prem. I don't have on-prem Exchange server again, but let me still check. Okay, if you look at this guy is synced from on-premise to the cloud. This guy is a sync user, but I doubt if he has, the guy don't even have license. Let me see which one that has license. Let me check one person that has license. This guy has license, but I doubt if he has the remote domain. No, the guy did not have. This guy did not have. So assuming he has remote domain, it's always look like something like this, but it's not this. You will see Chibuzo at mail. There will be mail dots. This name, that then on Microsoft.com, there will be mail in front of it. There will be mail in front of it. That is if you have an on-premise server or on-premise Exchange mailbox that has identity in the cloud, you will see it here, Chibuzo at mail dot these numbers dot on Microsoft.com. That is the remote domain. But the remote domain also has his own disadvantage. The disadvantage of remote domain is if they send email to somebody in your organization and the mailbox did not exist, the sender will not receive a non-delivery response. Do we get it? You know, if you send email to a user that does not exist, they will tell you that Microsoft server would return a non-delivery response, NDR, that we search for this mailbox in so. They will put the MX record address, but the user was not found. The user was not found. But if you are using remote domain, the sender will not receive a non-delivery response, and in the sender's mind, they will think the person have done what, received that email. So if you do content search in the cloud, you might not see it, but if you do content searching on premise, there's high chances, because most users that I used to see, they used to find it in on premise, but they don't find it in the cloud. They don't find it in the cloud. And if you find it in the cloud will show you that this email actually gets to us, but we can't find the user that owns the email. We can't find the user that owns the email. So that is the disadvantage of remote domain. But if you don't have any third-party email application or Microsoft 365 Exchange server that you are working with, you don't have anything to do with remote domain. You don't have anything. It's just your accepted domain. If you look at this place now, you can see the domain we added, our accepted domain. You can see they appear here. They appear here directly. They appear here directly. So assuming this domain now is what we are using to relay our message, then we'll come back here. We'll change this guy to internal relay. Once you put it as a remote domain, if you have on-prem and you are routing the message via Microsoft 365 or this thing, then we'll come here and change this guy to internal relay. we change it to internal relay, then we are good to go. But we don't have Exchange on-prem or any mail server that we can work with. So the assembling is this guy, connector. Is the connector. If I say email should route through Microsoft 365 from on-prem to cloud, how will they do that? Is either you run hybrid wizard, or and your hybrid wizard will automatically do what? Create a connector. It will create both inbound and outbound connector for you that will be used to route the email either from on-premises to cloud and from cloud to on-premises. The two mail flow either inbound or outbound. So the hybrid will create it. And there are some other things the hybrid will create also. It will create your federation sharing for calendar also automatically. But some people don't want calendar, they only want Mayflow rule, or they have a third-party filtering application like Barracuda, like Iron Pots. Which other one again? There are a lot of them, because some will say they don't trust Microsoft. Before the email comes into their tenant, it goes to their third-party mail filtering agent first, then before it gets delivered to Microsoft. So how do you do that? You use your connector. They use the connector to route those emails from wherever you are connecting it from to Microsoft. So I'm working with our time also. I'm working with our time. Um, then this guy is still in preview, but it's easier to use. It's easier to use. If you for those that have worked in commercial areas or standard office before, you can see that once your system is joined to the domain, there is a centralized printer that is used by everybody. You can send message from your email, from your what is it called, from your system, and it will print. The same thing, you can send a document from your um system, and it will scan that document. You can do what? You can pick it. So the means that which that stuff is done is SMTP, and is done through email. So Microsoft look at it, instead of you creating a dedicated email for this guy, and after some days, because Microsoft has exchange limits. It has exchange limits that if you violate it, the mailbox will be restricted. Then they created the high volume email, HVE, for this purpose alone, though it's still under preview, and Microsoft still have the right to either make it public or remove it completely. So if you want to create an email now that your printer can use to communicate, or you want to be using it to send email internally to your user, because currently now is working for internal user alone, then you can make use of this guy. You can make use of this guy. You can see it's just the same way we have our email. The difference is just that this one you don't need license, and it's not a shared mailbox. It's just for high volume emails within the organization internally, not external, not for external use, not for external use. And the alert policy we have here, you can set any of them. There are default ones, and there are some you can decide to set from yourself. But the best place to set any alert policies is from what is it called? From Purview. Purview will give you more options of alert policies that needs to be created for a lot of workload. But here also, as admin, you can create some alert policy depending on what you want to do in Exchange. Let's assume maybe Mr. Uh, Mr. Jarvis and Mr. Idris, they have beef already. And Mr. Jarvis wants to show Mr. Idris that he's an IT person. He knows that Jarvis used to send some emails that are not official to some of his girlfriends. and they would like to use that to flag Jarvis, then I can come here to create an alert policy that anytime Jarvis creates any email and include the word love in that email, or that email include an attachment that has love text message, that has love in it, just send me an alert. And once you send the alert, Jarvis will now be wondering, ah, how did Mr. Idris know? How did Mr. Idris know? So is these things that alert users, in our organization, once you sign in to your mailbox outside the locations where we have our offices, everybody that is admin in the organization will receive an alert immediately. Everybody will receive alert immediately. If you sign in from abroad, sign in from any state that is outside the states where we have our offices, it will flag you immediately. How do they get to know? These are the things they do. If you don't sign in to that laptop, nobody will know. Or if you sign into the laptop and there is no internet, nobody will know. But once there is internet, everybody will know. Everybody will know about it. So I'm just trying to use my time wisely as much as I can. So I'm not sure we're talking about migration, but the thing that I would love us to talk about again, is resources mailbox. I don't know if we talked about it before. So we have two resources mailbox in general. We have one, it's called the room mailbox, and the other one is called equipment mailbox. Before I continue, any question on what we've discussed so far?
No.
No, the information is too much. They can talk now. The information is too much.
No, no, no.
No, sir.
Okay. So
That
don't worry. Anything on exchange, we'll just stop with this room and equipment mailbox, because the reason why I want to talk about it is some people don't know the difference between these guys. So the room mailbox are special mailbox that are used for they are used to reserved should I even start from the okay, let me say resource mailbox. They are Microsoft 365 special mailboxes that are used to easily they are used for reservation of resources within the organization. Reservation of resources within the organization. So under it now, we now have the room mailbox and we have the um,
Equipment.
equipment mailbox. You can see the two of them just standing beside each other. So the room mailbox is assigned to a physical location. Let me say like conference room, auditorium, training room, maybe a desk or a workplace. Physical location, any physical location. Why the equipment mailbox is assigned to a resource that is not that is location that is not a location specific, maybe like projector, car, microphone, laptops, tables, and others. So let me say the room mailbox is the conference room that we do our meeting. Every other thing in the conference room, like our microphone and projector that we use, they are equipment. Are we getting it?
Yes.
Okay. So now their major purpose is this. As I said earlier, they are for reservation. If you are creating your meeting, let me assume I'm creating a meeting now. The way we are creating this meeting, let's assume we are running like 5 cohorts together, and I want to create my own meeting. I want to create my own meeting. And in that meeting, I will need to make use of conference room 1, and I will need to make use of projector 1 and microphone 1. In that meeting, I will have to go and reserve those things. I will select everything. So by the time Oswald that wants to take maybe another cohort that same day, once he gets there, probably we are having our cohort the same time, and you also need that projector 1. You will see that that projector 1 is already what? Taken by us. So he can't do what? He can't make use of it again. He has to take another time that that projector will be available. Are we getting it? You know, all those admin, you will not go there and tell them physically with your mouth, I go use projector tomorrow. I go use, by the time another person comes, I go use projector tomorrow, and that person is their friend. They can decide to give the person projector and tell you that, I've forgotten that I said you want to use projector, and I've given it to Mr. Seriki when he came. So the digitalized way of doing it is where we have the room and the equipment mailboxes. And these guys cannot be used to send or receive email. Though if you send email to them, it will get delivered, but it will go to the deleted item folder straight. Are we getting it? Some people used to convert room mailbox, resource mailbox to a what is it called now? To a regular mailbox. But once they convert it, they do have these issues where when they send any emails to that mailbox, it goes directly to the deleted item folder because it's a room mailbox. Then you have to use a PowerShell to change it, to change the mailbox type, the mailbox type details from room mailbox to regular mailbox. Let me see if I can see the PowerShell. I know it's set under set mailbox. I think type details. Okay, so if you look at the PowerShell, this is the PowerShell. You can see set, then the identity. Identity is the mailbox, the user mailbox you want to share. Then the type. Look at the type you have: the regular mailbox, the shared mailbox, the room mailbox, or the equipment mailbox. These guys, though, these guys, they are siblings. Both of them are under the resources mailbox. So if this guy is a room or equipment mailbox, if you send any email, it goes to the deleted item straight, because primarily they are not for what? Emails. But you can do what? Convert them to a shared or to a regular mailbox. All you need to do is this guy here. Once you check the type and it shows room mailbox, you can just put here. You can just put regular mailbox or shared mailbox, and it will convert this resource guy to a shared mailbox or to a regular mailbox. To a regular mailbox. And talking about regular mailbox, it means the guy must have license assigned already before you can convert it to a regular mailbox. The guy must have licenses assigned to that guy before you can convert it to a regular mailbox. So any question, I think we'll stop there for exchange. Any question?
Yes, please, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Let me drop this two in the group. Is anybody saying something?
Yes,
Boss,
please.
thank you for today's class. Can, can you hear me? Okay, sorry.
Yes, but there's echo.
I have a question, please.
Somebody is saying something for allow the person to speak.
You
Okay, boss.
mentioned the
Thank you.
room. You mentioned the room and equipment mailbox. Once an email is sent, it's sent directly to the deleted folder. So how does the recipient get a notification that, okay, this particular room has been reserved for a specific meeting?
Okay, so there is what we call room list. There is what we call room list. So the room list contain all these guys. It contain all these guys. So by the time you also want to book it, you need to get to that room list for you to be able to work on this guy. So from the room list now, the room list is like our company that owns both, or the building, the compound that owns both the conference room and the resource. Immediately I enter the compound, I will get a notification that these guys, they are not available for today. It's like going to book an event center. You have to enter the compound first, at least make inquiry for you to know if it's available for that date or that you want or not. And if the building is available, what about the equipment? Are they also available for that time or not? So majorly, if you look at all what has to do with resource room, meetings, everything is meeting. And if you remember when I was explaining meeting also, that I said some user, once their mailbox recoverable item folder is filled up, they will not be able to join meetings, because once you accept meetings, it goes to deleted item folder. That is why any email you send to that guy, you see that it delivers to the mailbox, but after like few seconds, nanoseconds, the email will move to deleted item folder, because they are not designed to retain any email. Do you get it?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Somebody was saying something earlier.
Yes, it's me, boss. Please, I don't know if you can just show us some things on transport routes, please.
I think Victor talked about it last time. We don't have time again.
Okay. But it's not all, Sha.
It's not all.
Yes.
But you talk about it now. It's just for you to have basic knowledge now. The remaining one, you should create it yourself. And that is why we have the group. You create it. If you have challenges, then you ask questions. We can't teach you everything. You can't look, even we can't remember to put everything. It's what you remember that we will teach you.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So that is that. Let me say a summary of what exchange look like outside calendar sharing with other tenants, migration, and OWA policy, and what else we did not talk about. Public folder. We not talk about public folder because we have other things. So the other parts of Microsoft 365, I'll just summarize them and give us the clue of how they actually work, how they actually work. So I will start with Purview and Defender. Purview and Defender on their own, they are another topic entirely, form of security. In short, Defender on its own, I can explain Defender for 3 months and we'll still be on it. But as I said, all these things, they are just basic knowledge for us to understand how some of these things works. Some of us don't know most of these things when we started, but along the line, while working with them, that we get to know them one after the other. So as I used to explain, we have the Microsoft Purview and Defender, that is security and compliance. Security and compliance. So one is for you to be compliant with whatever rules or standard of the organization. One of them is for you to be compliant. The other one is for any other person that wants to intrude to anything you have in the organization. So as the name sound, security. This is the explanation I used to give. Those are that were part of Microsoft 365 Nigeria, if you remember, I gave this explanation that why do you have to lock your door, lock your window, lock everything before you sleep when you have security? There are some estates inside estates, their own gates, they have security. Their mini estates, they have security. The main estates, they have the security. But you still have to lock your door, lock your window, cover the blank, do this or that. Especially for those in Nigeria, because I know there are some of us, probably you have not even been to Nigeria before. All our houses has burglary. There is this iron that we used to mount. We make sure it's inside, not outside, where they can easily dig it out and remove it. We put it at our windows. Some have it at their doors to make sure our house is what is secure. To make sure our house is secure. Despite all these things now, despite everything that has been put in place, it will look foolish of you to lock your house and leave the key in front of your door. Is as good as not doing what? As not locking the door. That's where compliance comes in. That's where compliance comes in. I was told, I've not been there. In advanced country, there are some countries when you park your car, you just leave the key there and you go, and nothing will happen to it. You will come back. But in Nigeria, if you try it, my brother, Alaba, don't sell your car, spare parts finish. So there are some compliance that we need to follow. There are a lot of compliances that we need to follow. We have data management, we have the GLP policy, we have e-discovery, we have a lot of things under the let me even open it. I think I have it open already. That was where we create our MRM from. Okay, see, under the solution, you can see we have the audit, communication compliance, compliance alert, e-discovery, information barrier. Under this information barrier is majorly used by schools. Majorly, I don't see other organizations don't use it, but it is majorly used by schools. All those foul words, you will not be able to send it, especially on Teams when you are chatting with it, and a child wants to tell somebody, fuck you. You won't be able to send that message. That chat will not go, but the admin will receive an alert that somebody is trying to send an offensive word, and you put that word, and that child can be called and what? Be corrected. That child can be called and be corrected. So we have a lot of things that can be done from the Purview admin center. And for the security admin center also, we have a lot that can be done. And as I promised, next cohort, we'll make sure as much as we can, we talk about all these things one after the other for those sets. But for this set, my brother is gone already. Is seriously gone already. So under the security, the major one that you needed for now that I would advise you start with. You see every other thing you are saying here, they are none of your business for now. Just come to email and collaboration. You see everything that you have under this place, that you have under these policies and rules, everything that you have there, go through them one after the other. Take your time, create, reproduce them, send emails, see how they flag those emails, everything about them, and you can do under review also. These two guys, you can look them out at your own convenience. And if you have questions, ask people around. Only if I don't have time, if you ask questions, I will always answer you. I will always answer you. So we have our quarantine. If you remember, I said some emails, they go directly to quarantine depending on what Microsoft is flagging it for. And we have restricted entity. Restricted entity are commonly for users that violate the sending patterns. Probably they are sending a lot of spam emails. Microsoft would automatically flag them from sending emails, and they will not be able to send emails or receive any email again till after 24 hours. And after 24 hours, if the admin did not remove them from restricted entities, they remain there, they will not be able to send emails. They will not be able to send emails. So that is just a brief summary on purview and security. Azure, Entra Identity. I think for now, just start with Microsoft first. The little things that you need to do with Entra are not that much. It's just conditional access. I think we talked about it from start already. Azure, this guy, leave this guy first. Once you know about Microsoft 365, then we can come back with this guy. I've said maybe during the year, I'm not promising you, during the year 2026, after everybody have scheduled, draw their family plan, draw their own personal plan and goal for the year, and we draw our goal and plan for wisdom wear for the year. So if we still have time, I can rub Oswald dreadlock. I can put some over oil on his head. Probably they can come around to do what? To talk about this guy is actually wide. Even if he wants to talk about it, he will only tell us about the basic things that we need to know. Then with that, we can build on it. We can build on it. So that is that about Azure. Then we have our SharePoints and Teams. So for SharePoint, majorly what we need to know about SharePoint is permission, permission level, the root level, and others in SharePoint. And once you are talking about SharePoint, he has his siblings that they work hand in hand, OneDrive. They are siblings, both of them, they work hand in hand. So SharePoint majorly is like having a website, and I want to share a file with people. I want these guys to only see this. Though all of them are in the same folder, I just want this guy to be able to see this file in this website. I only want this guy to see this file. Oh, I want this guy to see all the files in this folder. All those things, there are permission levels in SharePoint. And we have different kind of SharePoints. We have the classic and the modern. The classic means the old version and the new version. So Microsoft have been advising everybody to move to the modern SharePoints. So as I said, that's why I said everybody should create their tenants. We'll be able to work on some of these things. And if I'm able to get materials on these things also, I'll put it in the group for us to to check to check them out. And Teams, when it comes to Teams, the part of Teams that everybody think they know, and they think that is all about Teams, that is not all about Teams. Teams is divided into two. We have the normal Teams, which is what we are using for our meeting, and we have the Teams voice. The Teams voice is like having MTN line, making calls and orders. You know, if you call uh MTN and they'll tell you press one to for English, press two, all those things, auto attendance, assigning a specific number to a user and everything is actually wide. I actually talked to somebody that would have taken us about the Teams voice, but along the line, he also got engaged. He has left the country at the moment, and for that reason, he's trying to settle down. For those that have relocated, you understand what I'm saying. So he's just trying to settle down, get himself together. Then because for you to be able to we can't use Nigeria tenants because there is no number, there is not provided for Nigeria, only outside country, only for people outside uh, the country. So that was the reason why I wanted to use this tenant for those things, and he volunteered to even take us freely on how to do it. So we stop there for this year. Any question on what I've discussed so far, then before coming back to our previous discussion where we started from? Any question? Any question? Why is everywhere quiet? Any can speak, can speak.
Okay, so my question is not regarding what you just taught. You mentioned something about next year. Is it an advanced class or a second cohort based on what we just round up?
No, it's another cohort. It's another cohort. I mentioned it from start. It's another
Okay.
cohort. That's why I said all your feedback you gave us is well appreciated. So by next year, as you have given us feedback, we add it. We will take make sure those mistakes do not repeat themselves. That is one. And two, we'll make sure we do the things the way it is expected to be done. By now, I would have removed everybody from the meeting. It will have just remained the few serious people that we do have. If you go and check the group, we have 100 and something people. So for the videos, I'll also communicate how everybody will get the video. So what I actually have in my mind was every video for every instructors, everybody will carry their video, go their personal page, upload it, which will be at a form of thank you for what they've done for us. They upload it to their YouTube. And if anybody have to go and watch it, to go there, it will bring traffic to their personal YouTube page for everybody that has taught us one way or the other, because we don't have the school YouTube page yet, but I have to discuss with them. They have to agree. But if I discuss with them and the thought of us doing maybe another way entirely, I'll still communicate it in the group for everybody to know. Yes, I'm always available on WhatsApp page. On WhatsApp page, if there's anything, I will reply. Also, I think this is the best time for anybody that wants to apply for a job. December, January are always when people are trying to maybe get more hands, expansion, people are jackpying or any form. This is just the best time to do that, to apply for jobs. And a lot of people are scared to apply for jobs. If they see a job, say, this thing, they pasted, maybe they added 8 things in the job description. Out of the 8, you can do 5. You don't know how to do 3. Or you have heard of the 3 before, you have heard of it, but you have not laid your hands on them. Because of it, you not apply for the job. My brother, if you are waiting for perfect time, you wait the eternity till you get to know, because by the time you get to know all that 8, the next job you are seeing, they are adding some additional 2 that you have not seen before. They will add it to it. Go for the interview. Go for the interview. If you get the job, you learn while doing the job. That is why you are setting up your labs, all these labs you are having. That is why we are having this community. That's why Oswald said we should have relationship. There was one guy I was going for, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. I have to reach out to Oswald. Oswald, this thing I know it too, but the way it's coming to my head is as if this is what is coming to my head. Also, I have to share his screen and explain. I say, oh, so this thing I know it, but because of the name and the way they called it, it now looks confusing. I was taking it for something else. Imagine I don't have Oswald. So if you can have your own the Oswald too around among yourself, you have friends, people you can reach out to. As I've said this before, I've not seen Oswald in person before. I've not met most people that we are working together at Microsoft 365 Nigeria. Only few people that we have worked in one place or 2 places together. Aside from that, Oyimafu is my friend. I've not seen him before. Aside from the last place I and Rafiat worked before, since then I've not seen him. Since when Joseph left this our area, Afenso, I have not seen him. Jerry, since he left Nigeria, we've not seen again. There are a lot of people. Emmanuel, what is it called? President of I've not seen him before. And there are people that I can easily chat that I need have issue or can they help with one thing or the other. They will always answer. So it's not compulsory. There are physical people you've seen before. Jarvis is my friend. I don't even know how Jarvis look. Only if I look at his picture. If I meet him in person, I might not even know it's Jarvis. Mr. Joseph, a lot of people here. Ini is my friend. I've known Ini now going to like 3 years. I have not seen her in person. So you can make friends with people that will add values to your life. Apostle Selman said, show me your friend and I will tell you where you are going. Show me your friend and I will tell you how much you can actually accomplish. So that is that. Deborah, you can speak.
Yeah, once again, I still want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, from myself and on behalf of every other person in the class. We're so grateful. May God reward you bountifully. And then I want to also appreciate other mentors, Oswald, Victor, especially Victor. I don't know Victor. I just met him on LinkedIn. I was just like, I was just trying to have a community of people that are more experienced than me that I can learn from. And that was how we started talking. I think that was last year or something. And he told me, oh, there's this class. It's going to start February. And I started, um, calling him. No, not even call. I'll message him like, "What's up? You said February. You said there's something, there's a glitch or something until July." So I just want to tell him thank you. I'll still thank him personally. Oswald, thank you. Oswald does not know what you did for me, but I just want to say thank you. And in this class, God gave me some sisters and a brother in this class. I want to thank Ini. I want to thank Lovina. I want to thank Tara. I want to thank Olamilekan. They have been wonderful. Lovina was the first person that messaged me and she was like, um, this course, let's write MS 900. I was like, hey, you just okay, let's start studying so that we can write. She's very pushy. I like her for that. She's like, let's study this year. We have to write that MS 900. I say, me, I have a baby. Sure you get, and stuff. So I told her to reach out to Tara and Ini, and they were so humble and they have been holding my back. I'm telling you. There was the day Iberedem started virtualization and server. I don't understand what he was saying. It was too fast. And there's this person that just messaged me and started saying, do like this, do like this. I even thought he was the one. I said, how can this guy be attending to me? I was attending to other people in the class. And before I knew it, it was Olamilekan Adebayo. Guy, I'm so grateful to you. Thank you very much. He puts me through. They all push me. Yeah. Ini, you've been wonderful. God bless you. God bless you. Lovina, God bless you. Tara, God bless you. Even though Yusef, you have been so busy. God bless you guys very much. I love you guys and every other person on this call. I love you guys.
No,
And
no
Mr.
man,
Jide,
Lovina too like money.
I love her like that. And Mr. Jide, the next class, just know that we are the seniors, so nobody should disrespect us. Let them know that we here, and you need to note down our names. We that we started with you from the beginning till the end. We are the real MVPs. So you need to note down our names. Don't do shakara for us. And we are the
And
seniors for the next.
let our results speak for us.
Okay, it will. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. I'm so grateful. God bless you.
Welcome. So I'll be dropping anything. If you see anything, maybe Microsoft certification that can be of benefit to people, you can drop it in the group, or there is any free voucher. Please, as I said, only things that are meaningful. Because if you start just posting random things, the day they will post meaningful things, people will do what? They will lose out of what? Thinking they have started again, posting their rubbish. If I discover such person, you never late to, I dey comot the person straight away. I dey comot the person straight away. So please, please and please, that's why I'm begging now. Please and please. So if you have anything, what I mean by anything, not career wise alone. Let's assume you don't know what to do about your CV, you want to apply for a job, you need to ask questions, you have an interview, you're preparing for an interview, you need people to prep you and other things like that. You can always reach out. There are people, even if I'm not chance, there are people I can still reach out that, oh, this person, or you want to do an interview, probably might have people around that is working in that organization that can give us one or two clue on what you should watch out. Then it's fine. So we can do all that than just keeping quiet and losing the opportunity. Than keeping quiet to lose the opportunity. So that is for whoever that wants to drop, you are free to drop. Let me stop the recording. Michael, you can speak, please.
All right. Thank you so much, boss. Thank you.